global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back to Global Happiness to the YouTube channel. Peter Obi has become a focal point for almost all politicians. Doye Kupa just fairly recently talked about Peter Obi and the fact that he has always believed in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the best candidate, but yet he became the DG of the Obedient Movement and Peter Obi's campaign team. Although Oyelosore again had said to bring up this matter, he did mention something about this during the build-up of the election, but without without concrete evidence. But this time around, he's becoming overly open and bold, and he's making very bold claims. One of such claims he said, and it said about himself as a reporter. He said that himself as a reporter found out that Peter Obi was building substandard hospitals and never built any schools. As it was later revealed, according to him, he said that Peter Obi was investing state money in his private business and carrying money in cash to APAP, one of which was 250 million naira. And the police arrested them, which is Peter Obi and the likes, and found out that he was actually stealing money. He said, according to Moyole, he said all of these are on Sarah reporters now. So if some people now go and repackage Obi and claim that he is going to help Nigeria work, and I say to them, with my full chest, that this is a package fraud, and you get upset about it, that's not his problem, being emotional about the support that Obedient Movement are giving to Peter Obi. The question now is, why is Omoyele speaking up so boldly and making bold claims now? Though he did mention something about that during the build-up of the election, but he didn't go into full details on whatever it is that Peter Obi did wrong. My colleague is in the house, and I think that Peter Obi is getting more focal attention than even Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president. What's your take on this drama that is unfolding, and with Sowore spearheading this?
Well, it's normal, being that Peter Obi is seen as a very prospective president in the nearest future, and already, if you notice, virtually all the presidential candidates that appear in 2023, all of them are resting right now, possibly trying to put their house in order. But for Peter Obi seems to be working on seriously. Apart from that, we still see some philanthropic move by him and all of that. Now, I'm cool. Sowore is a great guy. If you look at his track record, it has always been on activism, fighting for people, anything anti-human you see him stand against, and all of that. But then, let's be so real about him. As much as he has the right to castigate Obi, but this same Sowore, as much as we know, has never held any elective position. I'm not talking about SUG, I'm talking about in government, starting from your local government, or has moved to a point of being a state governor before you get to the position of being a president. Many years ago, I can't say forget when the governor of Imo State, former governor of Imo State, Okorocha, came out to be the president. He was doing a lot of philanthropic things, and people were like, man, this guy is a good guy, and he went for president. For some reason, best known to whoever or the people then, they refused to give him a ticket, or they refused to allow him to, win the presidential election, only for him to be tested on the platform of a governor, and the failure was so massive. He fell in virtually everything. Some of these so-called anti-human fighters, sometimes if you give them the chance to lead a position, you see the autocratic character in them. They've never been antagonized before. They've never been fought against before. They've never been in a situation whereby they allow democracy to play out. Money has never been controlled by him before. So you can say whatever you want to say about Peter Obi, but however, I would say Peter Obi is a human being, and he has mistakes to make. But then we are so sure that if he's given an opportunity to lead this country based on what he can do, number one, he is uncorrupt because they're up till today. EFCC is yet to come up with anything to prove that Peter Obi was stealing money in Anambra State. I don't know where Omoyele is getting his own. Maybe he has some documents pointing to that direction. I respect him for that. But however, I think he should make it public for Nigerians to know and say, this is it. This is a provable evidence. Submit it to EFCC. Let them start running after him. Than to just be going around, saying all of this. But I must say, that personally I think Peter Obi is feeding on. Because if throughout the election, with all that came against him, they searched his record on, and they couldn't say anything against him. I feel that even if he can't do anything, let him stop stealing of money. I think Nigerians are cool with it, because if he can deal with the greed of Nigerian politicians, that's what we really want to see.
Okay, but let's call a spade a spade. Moino Soro, somebody I respect a great deal and is entitled to his opinion, just like every other person is entitled to their opinion. If you look at the category of the group of politicians that came all out in 2023, you should give it to Peter Obi that he seemed to be one that has integrity. A simple lifestyle didn't emanate from here. And even if they say, quote unquote, they packaged him, that means he was prepared for the packaging long before he became Anambra state governor, because he was a prudent spender. And in Anambra, people were attest to it that he was a prudent spender. Even his commissioner then, as Anambra state governor, could attest that he did not eat. They themselves too will not eat. The testimony about truly whatever he says happens to be true. But you look at Peter Obi's antecedent, he speaks for himself, he speaks well for him. The philanthropic moves, how many of our politicians really do this philanthropic move from their personal pockets? I'm so surprised with this is personal opinion that Peter Obi should be under any kind of fire. He's not the president. He's not among the economic chiefs. He's not the one. He's just only giving solicited advice sometimes to run the economy. And just like every other person have the right also to advise the government in case constructive criticism. But apparently, anything Peter Obi does brings the wrong part of most politicians that are not in sync with him. But some persons also believe that it could be that the shine that Sowore was looking out for has been given to Peter. But I don't think so. Sowore is a man that is on his own, as in he's one person that helps and speaks for the needy. Even if he does not do philanthropism in a public way, but he makes sure that if he sees injustice, he stands up for it. They are both unique guys in their way. I feel they should come together rather to form a synergy of some sort. But he believes that he can't join somebody that is packaged. If you were in Peter Obi's position right now, what would you do differently to convince Omoyele Sowore to be in his camp? Because this whole thing takes unity to uproot the underlying corruption.
One thing is sure here: these two people have two different political ideology, and I know that Sowore cannot step down for anybody. He feels he has the capacity, but I will always say that if you have the capacity, first of all, test yourself at the local government, at the state level, and then you can be given any position. For example, look at Wike. Even if Wike is a very autocratic and very rough, at least one of the things that we know about him is a project man. If you give him projects to handle, you see him, he will handle it stresslessly. We know him for that. So, as much as I know a little about him, I think more of his strength is in the area of fighting anything anti-human and all of that. So, him and Peter Obi coming together, the possibility is zero. Zero in the sense that he will never want to step down for Obi. But guess what? Even if both of them decide to align and come together, one thing is certain, that both of them will start fighting at a point. Because if Peter Obi decides to take authority and start doing things not the way of Sowore, which Sowore may think is actually the right way, Peter Obi will be dragged into the public glare, and that's not what we're looking for. For example, government is over now, and everybody is now seeing how they can run governance well. This guy, being an anti-human, being someone who fights against any anti-human move, will not stomach any kind of wrong move from Peter Obi. So what we are going to be experiencing is chaos everywhere. And also, being an activist, you will notice one thing about them, that when you don't align with their plan, they kind of fight against you. So you will see a situation whereby the executive will be dealing with the legislature, and the legislature dealing with both the legislature and the judiciary. So for me, the two cannot work. But I would like to say this, frankly speaking, let Sowore go at least to a governor's level. Start from there. Let us know you have the capacity to rule a state, than to hand over a whole nation into the hands of somebody who has never been test run before. That's a serious one, I'm telling you. You can't hand over a. It's like telling a child to drive a truck when he has never driven a car before. That is disaster. You understand? So that's my viewpoint.
Alright, we could go on and on. That's we're going to wrap it up. Let's interact in our comment section. Please no hate words.
Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.